We're frontier focused on this week's episode of the Indy Ball Report podcast. We're back. 382 episode number. It's a frontier focused week. They've announced all-stars. Apparently they want more teams in Quebec. Two divisions are deeply unserious while also being important players to the grand scheme of things, because why not, right? And the other two divisions, though, are kind of fun. So, frontier focused week. Also, we're going to talk about some crash outs. So, it's a fun time, ain't it, Ryan?
Yeah, man. It's definitely getting that time of the summer, though, where some teams are just folding up. Other teams are kind of like, oh, we should probably not suck at baseball. We would like to get out of here or make the playoffs, depending on the vibe. And managers are like, it's hot as hell. I'm going to stand in a trash can. Classic manager behavior.
We'll talk crash outs in a little bit because I got thoughts. But as per the intro, we are going to talk a lot of Frontier League today. And we're going to start off with the Frontier League All-Stars here. We have a first set of All-Stars. They also announced starters. I'm not going to go through the starters because, frankly, who cares? And it doesn't make a difference, really. We're playing 1-2 innings. Come on, please. Any event, we're going to go through the rosters here, and then we'll go through the guys that were named as replacements. So we're done going through the initial rosters here. So let's kick it off in the, I'm not calling it Midwest West Division, with Kobe Foster, Landon Gill, both from Washington, Gage Vales,
yep,
from Gateway, Edwin Sanchez from Lake Erie, Caleb Rydell and Buddy Pindell from Schaumburg, Chris Barraza from Mississippi, and AJ Campbell from Windy City. Those are your pitchers. Hank Zeisler and Brett Blomquist from Florence. Game is in Florence, by the way. Keep that in mind. Evansville will have Marcos Gonzalez, Amani Jones, and TJ Salvaggio. Jared Beebe from Windy City, Andrew Check from Washington, and Ian Patabaglia from Joliet. Then we move on to the outfield. We got John Ponder from Evansville, Michael Sandell from Windy City, Anthony Brancato from Washington, Brandon Bobo from Florence, Braylon Skinner from Mississippi, and your catchers will be Logan Brown from Evansville, Jose Alvarez from Gateway, and then Victor Cerny from Windy City. Coaching staff will be managed by Toby Hall, Harrison DeNicola, and Zach Westcott will also be on there. Those are all Florence guys. Tom Carconi and Tino Novus from Windy City, wrapping up with Jay Pesci from Mississippi on the coaching staff there. That is we're calling them West team.
Oh my God, I appreciate the termination and you working your way through the pronunciations.
Yes. Tossing we're calling them West team.
I never know. I don't know.
I know, and I do this to you every time.
I know, so. You do it to me every time. I always want to make my own all-star team. Some years I do, some years I don't. It just depends on how busy I am.
How many side projects, that kind of thing.
For real, honestly, how deep are my wife and I into a game of Oregon Trail? Like, it's that's a euphemism, by the way. As always, I don't have a ton of thoughts. It's kind of hard to disagree with much, especially in the Frontier League. The Frontier League does feel like they're fairly intentional about who's in and who's out. Like I feel like the Atlantic League, remember when they had an All-Star game? What a world. Would tend
it's to be a decade ago now.
So sad. Anyway, they would tend to have there was always like a team, like I think High Point. We've even seen it when they just like name a team, right? You have like a bunch of like High Point Rockers guys or whatever. It just seems like overloaded one way or another. And you go, the voting must have been weird here. It shook out funny or whatever. So it always feels like a little less squirrely in the Frontier League. Like it's a little more focused on what's actually going on in the field, which is nice. So especially when it comes to them, I don't have as much to say. I'm just kind of doing like a cursory look for guys that I like, who I feel like have been underappreciated, to see if they were in fact underappreciated. Yeah, they're okay. They mostly got it though. I don't know. Are there any surprises on here? That's what I'm looking for. Like, I'm really trying to find something to talk about with this. You know what I mean? Because right now, I don't. They honestly, the teams are fairly large enough. Well, I guess the league is big enough. There are some snubs occasionally. Yeah. I'm kind of trying to.
I still have to go through the other one. The one we're calling it Atlantic, but they're.
I'm trying to get ahead of you too. I love that you're just sticking to that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, go for it. We'll see if I have anything to say on it. But like, how do you like any of these things are like hard to argue with? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. John Ponder's got like a nearly 500 on base percentage. Like, it's gonna be hard to make a case, you know. Other than that, it's like it is a showing of there's not a lot of weak spots in this All-Star game. Which again, you have 18 teams, you would think so, but it is, you know, for that level to have basically no trash sneaking into the All-Star game, at least on the initial roster, is a pretty good run. I think it's a good statement of league health for the Frontier.
Certainly. On the Atlantic, but actually East Division team, we have Brandon Alleman, Connor Floyd, Cooper Morgan, all from Quebec, Brett Garcia and Eric Hardino from Ottawa, Rob Hinsey from Sussex County, Connor Marinek from New Jersey. I admittedly, that screw up is on how I wrote this down. That was not good handwriting on me. Brandon O'Donnell from Brockton, Jalen Long from New York. Those are your pitchers. Christian Adams and Calais Harrison from down east. Torrin Montgomery and Kyle Kroll from Quebec. Felix Stevens from New Jersey. Johnny Montes from Three Rivers. AJ Wright from Ottawa. Santino Rosso from New York. Then in the outfield, we got Chavez Young, Quebec, Austin White, Brockton, Dylan Broderick, Tri-City, Isaac Belloni for New Jersey, and then Steven DiTommaso from down east. Your catchers are Derek Bender of Brockton, Jason DeGresti, New York, and Gus Sosa from New Jersey. Team's going to be managed by TJ Stanton. He's going to bring Tyler Vale and Mark Rendez also with him from New York. Asif Shah from Quebec and TJ White from Three Rivers as well. We also have team replacements. So we got some replacement players here. On the unofficial West team, we got Garrett Brousseau, Kyle Harbison. Again, it could have been a typo in the graphic, but whatever. Adam McAvoy and Zayd Richardson, all from Florence. Also joining will be Junior Serta from Evansville and Carlos Pena from Windy City. On the unofficial East team, we got Garrett Cooper from New York, Caleb Hill from Ottawa, and David Glancy from Tri-City, not Three Rivers. Yeah.
the TCTR and the abbreviations always kills me.
It's running through all of them so quick. I'm like, so much overload. But yeah, so those are the All-Star teams and coaching staffs.
You know, interesting. Like Kellum Clark was one I was kind of looking for. I don't see him listed. That kind of throws me for a loop. But that's also like, I just kind of like the way Kellum Clark plays ball. Dude drives it. Got to get off the ground a little bit. Different conversation. But who else have I been eyeing up? Parker Kodu. He's I'm more almost seizing the opportunity because like we talk generally about the sort of league, sort of the season, whatever, and then you know we bounce around from league to league as it starts up, and then we have those moments where like, yeah, we don't know what to make of this. We'll revisit it. We're halfway through the season. I'm kind of like, there's some guys deserving some shout outs here. Like Parker Kodu with Tri-City. I mean, he was like, I know it's weird that he's been like gone for 3 weeks already and still stats like stand out on every spreadsheet I have for him. It's just, he had a really good run with Tri-City there until like mid-June. Hank Zeisler just always doing Hank Zeisler stuff makes me laugh, like out just with Florence living the dream. He's had like a weird week, but still he's been generally speaking, very much the Hank Zeisler mold. Emmanuel Tapia doing his thing, by the way, which kind of makes me laugh. He's still out there doing it. Trying to see Zach Beadle, by the way. He approached like 100 plate appearances, and he has like a 460 BABIP for those of you who are weird about it. Fun guy. Let me see if there's anything else. Anybody? I'm just trying to compare my list to like their list and see who is a mismatch here, but not much. And most of these guys were like, damn, he's so good. And then I get to the next and I go, damn, he's also so good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have no notes on it. You know what I mean? Do you have anywhere where you're like, oh, I would have really liked to see that guy get a look? Or don't know how this guy ended up here?
Nope.
I'm feeling this pressure like you have a big take coming.
Nope. I don't really.
Oh, man.
I gotta be honest.
Super good, by the way. Yeah, I just wanted to say it again because I feel like it should be said all the time. Kyle Krell's really good at baseball.
Oh, yeah. No, he's awesome.
Oh, my God. Hey, I just watched him the other day just kind of do the thing, and I was like, oh, man, Kyle Krell's so good at baseball. As Quebec just continue to do their thing and bully people. I think he's got a history going on. I'm not saying it's a big one, but I think he's got, last I checked, it's up to 7 games now. 13 hits in those 7 games. Gross. Doing Kyle Krell stuff. So watch out. Don't let Kyle Krell get hot.
Does he have serpent DNA?
I don't even know what to do with that.
Because I know a chap out in California that'll spear him in the chest for having serpent DNA.
What is happening? The other one, since we're talking Frontier League for a moment, I will take the opportunity to say I've watched 2 Tri-City games this week, and both times Dylan Broderick was just a problem. Hit 2 jacks against Troy Riviere yesterday, or 2 days ago now. God, it's all run together. Killing it. Hasn't struck out in like almost a week. Love that. So fun. Yeah, he's a vibe. I think his strikeout rate is like insane too, if I remember. I'll do a quick fact check to make sure I'm not just gassing this dude up for absolutely nothing. Yeah, he has struck out only 27 times this season. Pretty cool. Love that. And like 204 plate appearances. So that will work. Fun.
Will it work?
Put it in play.
All right.
I mean, look, they don't like when you run around without hitting it. That was just the 1 year in the Atlantic League.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, guys, that felt very much like a do this thing, like to prove that we own you thing. It was weird. I didn't like that. Like there were a lot of rule changes. I didn't like the way they did the moving the pitching rubber. However, I understand the logic and the purpose of it. That I was just like, guys, what are we doing? I don't know what they had going on there. Lastly, who did I see? I saw somebody else who I was like, ooh, this week got my attention. Oh yeah. Oh wait, was I imagining it? Hold on. What game? I watch a lot of baseball this week too. It's problematic. Oh yeah, that's right. I was about to gas up Keenan Taylor, and he promptly went on an 0 for 8 with 4 Ks. So that's yeah. I like had the tweet drafted, and I was like, I watched that game. I didn't see what he did last night. I should check it. And the 0 for 4 2 Ks. Next day 0 for 4 2 Ks. Like, well, all right, maybe I'll shut up. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Ciao, Washington.
So you know what's kind of neat?
What?
The Midwest West Division. Everyone but one team is under 500 by at least 5 games.
Oh yeah, it's beat for sure.
That's a bad division, ain't it?
It's not a good division. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that much right off the bat.
And then you look at the Midwest Central, right? Yeah. And everyone but one is 500 or better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny to think that whole division is going to essentially make the postseason. Like everyone, but
Windy City's a bad week away from having every team in the division have a negative run differential.
They're also a bad week away from everyone in the division being under 500 too. So
yeah. But I mean, sometimes that happens. Like, yeah, but you know, who knows? Is it that bad? Sometimes it's like, yes, it's that bad. Kill the fire. I think, I mean, every number really indicates Schaumburg should be doing better. I'm going to compare that to my numbers real quick just to check and make sure I'm not completely making that up. But basically, from what I've seen, Schaumburg could have room for improvement here. They are they've had some weird results. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, for the most part, they've had a few wins they managed to actually. That's about right. I don't know. I saw the run differential. I was like, they should be better. And then I actually looked at the game by game and I'm like, yeah, actually, Schaumburg is probably about there. What do we think, man? Who makes it out? I mean, we're halfway.
This?
I want to do that. I don't want to go too far on the frontier because I don't know how much you want to talk about other leagues too. But
not much. So,
I mean, I was like, all right, we're halfway. I mean, do we want to do what do you think the playoffs going to look like?
Right now,
we just talked about that though, didn't we? A couple weeks ago.
Kind of. I'm going to hold firm on Washington, Evansville, Florence, Windy City, probably on that side of the world.
Okay.
I think, while it's very possible Schaumburg could jump up, I think they're the only ones in that division that could really jump up. Gateway's been incredibly mid at best and bad at worst.
Mm-hmm.
Joliet is not. They're playing to their own expectation, and Mississippi's taken a huge step back. Who, ironically, kind of like Staten Island, struggle very much to win on the road. Not as bad as Schaumburg has. Only 6 wins for Schaumburg. So that's the thing they're going to have to sort out. They want any playoff hope whatsoever. But I think just being up the 4 games right now is a nice cushion to have against a team that really has not been like outpacing you by any metric. I mean, you want to compare them across the board, they're relatively similar. So you would take a plateau from Windy City and then Schaumburg just shooting up like a rocket for the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly see that likely. I'd have to look at schedules and things like that to get a better grip on it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think Evansville's probably going to knock Windy City out in the first round. I think Washington's going to handle Florence the first round. And I think it's going to be Evansville and Washington. We're going to get a really nice series out of that. And we're going to see Quebec get to play one of those two, which is why I almost don't even want to waste my time talking about the way the Atlantic East, whatever the hell we're doing with that, actually set up here. You know, New York's going to have to collapse to not win the division. We said that, last year, the year before, and hey, what do you know? But they are notably better than everybody else in the division.
Fair.
That doesn't necessarily make them a good team. It just means they're better than a bunch of guys all fighting to get to 500. That being said, they do score a lot of runs. Ballpark helps, but they do score a lot of runs. They also give up a lot of runs. So, I mean, 330 isn't that bad. But it starts getting bad when you start noticing that the West pitches really good. And the East just can't pitch for shit.
Yes, there's a bit of that. Yep.
So, you and Quebec struggling with that. So maybe it's a ballpark thing. Maybe it's just a talent disparity thing. I don't know. But I will say, it's probably going to be New York on that side. And it's going to be a real drag them out claw match for that last wild card spot here because, Quebec's going to get there. Ottawa safely should be there. And then technically you have New Jersey, you have Sussex all fighting for that spot, along with Brockton, who has the same record as Down East, mind you. And for all that, I just drag the New York Tri-City, or not Tri-City, Tri-State, I'll call it, division. There's 2 teams worse than all of them in the Atlantic North. Right. And Brockton would still be in last place in that one. So realistically, and Ottawa is, for all intents and purposes, on the same tier as New Jersey and Sussex. So it's not exactly like the Atlantic North is leaps and bounds better. I'd be open to the argument that they're worse. But because honestly, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm kind of wanting to backtrack on it because it's a very similar setup. 2 middle of the pack teams, 2 garbage teams, and 1 team that's notably better than the rest. I mean, honestly, fast forward to Quebec, New York again. Let's see what happens there because that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking in the South, I'm feeling like it's probably, I'm seeing it the same way, essentially. I'm seeing Washington as number 1, and they would probably grab Florence. I agree. I see a world where Joliet finds a way to keep it close, but I don't think they have enough. I think Florence is, I think Florence is on the up and up. I think Gateway could make a run as well, but the only thing with Joliet is like they've played good competition and they are hanging around at a record that isn't a disaster. And I could see Florence backsliding, closer toward Joliet. There's a lot of time left for that to go wrong. However, I think Florence is more likely to improve as the season goes on, and that's what's going to kill them. I guess I would say I could see Joliet improving slightly on their current pace would be kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't necessarily say that in like oh Lord, she coming. I don't think so. With that, so we'll go again, same breakdown. I got Washington. I've got Evansville is the number one wild card. I got Florence as the next wild card. So that means what? Evansville, Windy City, just like you had. Washington, Florence. Yeah, I'd probably stick with the same. When it comes to oh God, I don't know how I'd play that out, but just go quickly, just off the top of the head. I think Washington probably runs it. I think at this point, Washington's been impressive. I do think Evansville can take out Windy City, but I don't know. Yeah, probably go fine. So Washington, Evansville, I think Washington kind of runs Evansville fairly quickly out of the playoffs on that one. That then going up to the Atlantic side or the East side, depending on what you're vibing with. Ooh, God. Okay, yeah. Again, Quebec. Yeah, I think it's clear. I think right now it's clear. I mean, easy to say that. We've seen some wild collapses out of this side of the league, but Quebec 1, New York 2, Sussex 3, Ottawa 4. So
I put Ottawa a little bit ahead of Sussex at this point. I think they have a higher ceiling.
I think that's true, but will they reach it? That's another question.
I think care for most of the minor pitching staff. I'll be entirely honest.
Yeah, I get that.
They certainly have the potential to hit and make up for ground there, but I just
Ottawa's schedule is, I think a lot of Sussex County's schedule being soft. I think Quebec does a lot of the work there. If we're keeping it in mind, I mean, what 3/4 of the divisional opponents for Ottawa are Brockton, Tri-City, RVA. So
yeah, but how much are you playing your division?
No, I mean enough, but I'm saying that in defense of Ottawa, I think I'm kind of saying like I think we tend to think of Sussex County having a soft schedule, but we sometimes overlook Ottawa having the squishy bottom of their division. But either way, I think whether it's they're 3 or 4, I don't know if it matters all that much. You're still running into a disaster eventually, which is speaking French. I don't know who takes it. I mean, I think New York could keep it closer against Quebec, but I don't think I just don't. That's more of a matchup thing. I do worry about Quebec's pitching a little bit, but that's more about Quebec versus what I've seen their top level be than New York being like, again, oh, Lord, she coming. But I think, it would be Quebec and New York. I think Quebec over New York. And then I don't know. Right now, Washington looks like a level above Quebec right now. I think that'll be the case by the end of this? Not necessarily. I think Quebec, as we've talked about before on the pod, has a way of building and a way of continuing to tack on to, the pitching staff they have and the lineup that they have. So, I mean, what do they got? Like, I don't really see 4 starters typically going for them. 3 starters, 5 enough. But they got 2 that are sitting around a 10 ERA right now. So like, can't be doing that. Like Jack Eisenberger's having a hell of a time,
which is a weird thing to see.
Yeah, it's really hurt to watch there. Kendall Lyons been getting after it, not having it go well, but he's getting after it still, which I respect. I don't know. It's not an overly familiar vibe from Quebec when it comes to, them as a fully formed team. But,
we also kind of do this semi-regularly though, right? We're like the midway part, we're like, I don't know. And then they bring ringers back right around August, and it's like, oh, okay. Well.
That's it. I mean, how many of these guys are placeholders essentially? And with 2 dudes with 10 ERAs, they're sitting at a 35-16 record. So does any of it matter? Does anything matter? It's partially
that. Plus, you still have Brennan Allman, who hasn't been as sharp as he normally would be. And their bullpen still looks pretty much fine here, right? Like,
yeah,
you have Connor Floyd here. You still have Cooper Morgan, Correa. There's guys here, Villers. Like, yeah, I think they're going to be fine.
Let me just double check a theory real quick to see if there's anything of note here. But yeah, I don't really see anything happening. But I do think Washington at least is going to give them a series. So and that
I think we've learned better than the last one, at least.
Agreed. Honestly, completely. For what it's worth here, I mean, Braden Allman does have a 3.83 ERA over 11 starts. He's thrown about 5 starts per outing or 5 innings per outing. So you don't really want to love that. But I don't know. We'll see how they build from there. I'm not, the most concerned in the world about it, but let me see who else has been. Sorry, I'm just curious what else they've been doing with their rotation here. Yeah, so it's been their current rotation looks to be Riley Gwynn. He's done 2 starts, but I think they're using him like an opener potentially, or he's just not covered ground based on his innings. Eisenbarger, who he's been struggling. He's got that ERA's, oh my god, dude, 12 earned over his last 7 2/3. Braden Allman, he has looked really good. He's starting to come into his own, by the way. I've noticed that. He's got 12 Ks in his last 2 starts. Kendall Lyons, he's got a 10-5. Yeah, that's not playing. He's only had 2 outings, but it's not looking good. And then they got Masatoshi Sakurai, who's hanging in. I mean, we'll see where he goes with it from here, but interesting to say, the least he hangs around mid 4 ERA, so he's going to be probably a serviceable 3-4 guy when it comes to a playoff push. Anyway, over assessing the Quebec situation here, but anyway, it is interesting. Anytime it looks like they could be threatened to go, are they? Or is this just us overthinking?
I also point out there's not too many like eye-popping starters out there either.
No, across all the indie leagues, if I'm honest, it's a lighter year when it comes to it. I mean, even looking at like even tonight's results, there's not much in the way of big pitching outings going on. So, and there's also not many guys where it used to be all the time where it's like, oh boy, you got so-and-so on the bump. It's going to be, it's going to be a long day. There's just very few of those guys anymore. And maybe a lot of them got picked up, but it's just,
it's like part of it. But yeah, I mean, like I'm going through here and like sorting by ERA, and I'm only seeing, including guys that the contracts purchased, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 guys sub 3. And then another 1, 2, 3 guys on top of that are sub 4.
Yep.
So it's not exactly like there's a huge, line out the door here. And I'm like kind of low key looking at teams that aren't good or not going to be making a playoff push, being like, okay, where could you go buy a guy from, essentially?
I feel that. And you wonder,
or Joven, perhaps,
right? I mean, Kobe Foster has been doing Kobe Foster stuff, surely, but
the crowd drool.
He's 27. I mean, you think about if you're Sussex, I mean, you're holding on to the value on that pitcher, so you can't really do much with it. But I'm looking at guys who are pitching places where it's like, how's it going? Gunnar Kine's having a nice season, by the way. We haven't talked about him much.
Yeah, good bounce back here.
Yeah, dude, 4.23 ERA. He's still averaging like 6 innings per outing almost. Love that. Very cool.
Honestly, the kind of guy that I'm looking at here, I don't think TJ would move him, but if they're open to it. And I don't think it would move because you can't, interprovincial be a tough thing, but Anthony Escobar, kind of like to a T, would work perfectly.
That's interesting.
Good backstory.
Yeah, I won't see him move him either, but I mean, unless he wants to make a move and he can get something in return for it, that's possible. Or just a favor for later if it's just for someone's playoff run. Now, I was also you got to mention, I mean, Buddy Pindell's so again, having a year, man. 3.51 ERA, 59 innings, 9 starts, 10 outings. I don't remember when he came in randomly, but dude. I mean, it's out there. It's not like this is not those years where it's just trash all around. It's just that it's a little fewer and farther between, I guess. Seeing less long outings as well, by the way. Like they're still getting them, but I feel like we're seeing less. That's just from an observation. It's not me pulling a stat or anything, but I can look into it a little bit more, maybe, and get some findings. But yeah.
Also, at the risk of just starting to do the name a random player thing.
Name a random player, but look, if they're good, we naming them.
Yeah,
you won't get named.
Gilliran just came in, only thrown 3 starts so far for Brockton. Low key is kind of doing great. Only 3 earned runs. He's going 6 innings per. He doesn't strike out a ton, but 36 innings, 30 hits, 6 earned, 3 Ks. Like, it's not bad. 1.5 ERA is never bad. I'm sure it's only been 3 starts so far.
But he has 13 appearances. They just moved him. So, I mean, shout out for the energy here. So he went, what looks like 10 relief appearances, was shoving. And then they tapped him to go into the rotation. He's gone 6 innings, 3 outings in a row. Like, that's way to step up and just do the thing. That's pretty good. Over those 3 starts, 14 hits in 18 innings, 18 2/3 innings, 3 runs they're earned. Also 12 Ks over those innings. Like, he's delivering, man. That's a little, he can have a little trouble keeping the ball in the yard, but it's a different conversation. But, he
obviously you're not going to move a guy that you kind of just got in there, but like, again, could
he keeps the ball on the ground a good bit, though. I don't know. Something to it. I'm just trying to rack my brain on what Gilliran's done in the past. Before we move on fully, is this something we can count on moving forward? First pro season. He was with Stonehill.
Yes.
How about it? Stonehill.
Division 1 program.
Yes, sir. Northeast Conference, baby.
NEC, yeah.
I mean, this is one, I'm just going to say it out loud. I always get nervous when a guy comes out of college. He's been throwing he maxed at 75 innings in 2025. He did 9 summer ball innings after that. He entered with 62. He's already thrown a career high in innings. It looks like not quite true. He threw 105 between college ball and summer ball in 2023, but then he posted a 9.3 ERA the next year. So
high.
Keep future focused, boys. Careful with the arm. Oh God. Sometimes, man, I should write. That's when we should try to find things every week to write down as a long term. Just you're gonna want to pull back on those innings, or things are gonna get maybe a little interesting for old Jimmy Gilliran next season. But he's doing it right now, buddy, and it's hard to not ride it.
Yeah. Anything else on the frontier this week, or is that a good spot?
I don't think so. I'm just doing a quick check here. I think we're kind of doing it. I mean, New Jersey, struggling, Sussex making a run on them. That's something. Quebec's offense is kind of terrifying again. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Jackson Valera's hot. Shout out Joliet.
He's still kicking around, ain't he?
Yeah, man. Doing it. He's got RBI in 6 straight games, I saw. RJ Stinson, he's got a 1.4 OPS in his last 10 games right now. He's going crazy. He's got a 8-game hit streak. In those games, he's got 13 hits. He's got a pair of homers. He's been getting after it. Yeah, man. Just wanted to shout him out because he's been going kind of crazy lately. He, just mashing baseballs, terrorizing people. 4 for 5 tonight, looks like. No, man, that was his best game. 2 for 3 tonight. 2 walks. See, they're scared of him. He hit a grand slam the night before. That'll play. Go ahead.
You know who's not hot right now? Who's not getting it done right now?
Is it the chick who's in my Oregon Trail game who just shot herself by accident? Oh, by accident in air quotes for sure on that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say the Gary South Shore Rail Cats.
Oh, you weren't talking about her? That's crazy. Yeah, Gary. I mean,
we can't be losing games to Lincoln.
Can you find a worse time to absolutely get smacked in the teeth over and over again? Good Lord. The 1 week Cleburne all of a sudden remembers they play baseball.
And you look at the rest of this division, and it's Cleburne and Milwaukee that are having a good stretch right now. Lake Country's coming out of a downturn. Mm-hmm. But I mean, let's be honest, Milwaukee and Lake Country were never really they're not in doubt.
Yeah.
Gary, you're very much in the hot seat here. I mean, also it's starting to look like the not being able to score runs thing is kind of starting to find you.
Problematic. Well, they put up 10 tonight, to be fair. Now, to be also fair, they did give up 16. Not as cool.
God, 16.
The good news for God. And they did to Lincoln also. Can't have that. But
Lincoln's a playoff team, though, mind you.
Lincoln is a playoff team right now. Also in large part.
Where are the guys from Titanic
because
playing on the ship?
Freaking win. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, when you're putting up 16 on Gary, I guess that's what happens. You're a playoff team now. Kansas City beat Cleveland, though, so good news for Gary on that one. Chicago has once again lost.
Kansas City's the only team that has a positive run differential in their division. This will probably change by the time this comes out, though, because you still have about a game and a half. Because Sioux City is only -1, but even still, dear God.
I mean, Tom Dormany has been going through it this season, still shoved against the Chicago Dogs, by the way. Just noting again that the Dogs got smacked. Anyway, where were we? Oh my God, Gary up 20 hits to Lincoln. Anywho. Yeah, so picked a bad time to go cold. Gary has dropped 10 of 15. Unfortunately for them, Cleveland has won 12 of 15. So that's a 7-game swing. And they are now 3.5 games behind Cleveland. They were 3.5 games above Cleveland. That is how math works. I got
County too.
Circling back to the Chicago Dogs. They're 8 for the last 30.
They have a new but they're looking for a new head groundskeeper, right?
Yeah. Are we doing this now?
Absolutely. I'm not missing an opportunity to drag this organization.
Oh my God.
They may arrest me if I show up there. It'll be phenomenal content.
Yeah, no,
I'm getting trespassed 100%. I know, but just like their former groundskeeper, I guess I'm not going to be allowed on the property.
Dude.
I don't know if he's gotten trespassed, but he did get fired. I'll say that. That I know for certain because, what was it? 4 days ago, they went ahead and said, look, we're so sorry. We couldn't get the field up to par to play. Is truly, we're so sorry for this. 3 days ago, they just had a posting for a head groundskeeper on teamwork. So the day after, they had to cancel a game due to rain. A game that they were throughout the day saying, yeah, we'll play. The following day, they went ahead and started a search for a new head groundskeeper. Now, I don't know the full story behind it. We just discovered this fun little nugget about an hour and a half ago. So maybe it's a case of the guy quit beforehand and they needed to find it and they just finally got around to putting that up. And this was the instant where I said, tomorrow morning, we got to make a point of doing this. Or maybe they decide to fire the guy, or maybe the guy, who knows, said, I don't want to work in these conditions and up and left. I would love to know that information though. Now, I'd also love to find the head groundskeeper. I'm sure someone out there has some sort of way of contacting him. Please send that my way. I'd love to have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. This guy could have been gone before. I mean, typically the turnaround on a job posting isn't super fast, just judging by, no offense, the HR departments at Indy Ball teams. I would say it feels like there's a real potential that perhaps that head groundskeeper was gone.
Yeah.
And then some weather happened. And then, you're working with a bunch of interns, some who are not that they're unqualified. There's usually a few who really got it going. Others who are just labor. Yeah. Nobody's organizing the effort and communicating, with who needs to be communicated with. So that's also why you don't tend to make moves like that in the middle. Or maybe he just pieced out. Maybe something happened with the field and someone was verbally assaulted and decided, I'm done with this. Also possible. All things are possible in the wild, wild world of the Chicago Dogs.
Maybe he said he doesn't want to be associated with a team that, only has 16 wins on the season. That is the worst in their league by a considerable margin, actually, by about.
Maybe he took the fall. Maybe after yet another loss, the owner sent some sort of text. The hypothetical owner, I'm not naming names, sent a hypothetical text reaming out management, and they threw the grounds crew under the bus, and then he was sacrificed.
Yeah, of course. This is
maybe hear me out. Maybe grounds crew Jesus died for your sins. We don't know.
We're spitballing here, people. We're open to ideas.
The
here.
sins may involve harassing an intern. We are unsure at this time.
Maybe they were full-time employees. Who's to say?
This is the second day in a row that I've looked at the American Association standings, and I think every team has a 1-game winning or losing streak. So everyone's just trading off games right now, which is fun.
There's a couple, 2 games in here, which
mine hasn't updated. Damn. Oh well.
I do appreciate how there's only one team on a winning streak in the East Division, while everyone in the West is winning, despite the West being the worst division.
I mean, buckle up for works. That's how it's going to be. Buckle up for the West winning the All-Star game. Like, wasn't that last year where the one division was dominating the whole time and then got smashed in the All-Star game? And I was like, well, of course.
Lincoln, your road record is now 9-11.
Oh.
We won't forget your season.
Jesus, man. I mean, Chicago kind of does have a bit of a stat, I don't think. Clearly not to the same extent, but they do have a 4-16 road record. The boys just can't handle a bus.
Which is weird, considering it's Chicago. You would think they'd be happy to be on the road.
They can't handle the pressure of wondering what dad's going to say when they get home. Here's my issue, and we're going to revert back, right?
Yeah.
I need Gary to lock in here. The boys got an opportunity here. They're 3 games out of a playoff spot with 52 to play, 51 now. Oh God. Well, yeah, they're still 3.5 out. Thank God. Okay, cool. Oh, can't have a minus 59. Now look, we all knew when Gary was still kind of looking like they were holding a playoff spot and their run differential was like minus 35. We're like, well, that's deeply concerning, but maybe that's fine. It does not.
Maybe they can outrun it.
It does not seem fine. Yeah, that's like, well, maybe they're stretching their legs out. They're going to outrun this mess, but it's looking less likely. And I would say, hold on, if I could make a suggestion here, because I have been watching them and trying to keep track a little bit because they are my babies. So a few suggestions would probably involve. Let's see, team. There we go. I'm not lost. I know exactly where I am. I was
known the whole time.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, of course I'm here. Obviously. There are
under stolen bases. Some tab. Wow, what a great system.
I'm gonna die.
Damn Argentinians.
Yo, them Argentinians are hateful folks, man. I'm getting some reports from my friends at the World Cup, and them Argentinians cannot behave. All right, here's what I'm gonna need. Lock in. Gary, I need you to not drop 5 of 7 to Lincoln. Specifically, if I can make a request, I'm going to need you to score more frequently. And then when you do actually score, I need you to not give up 16. Like, keep them under a touchdown and a field goal, preferably, right? Backing it up, like, they played kind of well against King County. They did what they had to do, but then they also got punched in the teeth by Lake Country. They lost by a combined, 34-4 to Lake Country. So this has been going on a little bit. I think Lake Country did kind of break them because that seemed to be where things went wrong. Maybe the King County series, they kind of ended on a rough note there. I think the All-Star break can't come soon enough for them. They can maybe try to re-rack, maybe add a little bit of something. Maybe, this is still a team that's building, with, the old I-beam up there. Isom trying to get things together and figure out exactly how he wants this to look.
Kind of rusty.
First full season, he's fine. First full season, he's outperforming already. Like, let's be calm. But this could get off. I want them to get out of the basement, right? That's the goal. That's the goal for Gary here. The fans have done their time. The podcasters have done their time. So in order to do that, though, they need to start with solutions. And again, I will always encourage this methodology.
Question,
Seek
sir.
out, guys. You have limited leverage for bringing people in. That's fine. I would give efforts to finding guys who are kind of bomb proof. But you don't need a guy who's going to throw 7 scoreless. You need a guy who is not going to throw 3 and give up 10. Like, you need that. You need guys who are going to throw. I'm not kidding. Bringing guys who can throw 6 innings and give up less than 5 runs or 5 runs even. Like, that's fine. And then give your offense a chance. Because when the offense works, it works. Unfortunately, when you lose 16-10, it doesn't really do anybody any favors.
Good sir, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does turning this around include continuing to play Cooper Edwards and Olivier Basabe?
Well, it's not good.
Because Cooper Edwards is hitting 157 and has an on base of 265.
Yeah.
He's had 103 plate appearances, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's not really what you want, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, in fairness, only about 4 guys here are really what you're looking for at the dish here. And, like, not great. Also,
yeah.
I also distinctly noticed they don't have guys that are really running that much. Maybe we need to get back to the running.
That felt more insulting than you meant it. I get that. It did just feel like a fat joke, but yeah. Hold on, I'm just doing a quick stat check here because I know it's gonna be brutal, but I'm prepared.
Goes to Greg Taggart.
My soul is ready. So Greg Taggart says, "Run them polls, boys." All right, just checking it out here. So Nick Podkul, by the way, killing the ball still. His last 10 games. Over a 1.3. He's slashing 364, 462, 879. Not the problem. 5 homers in 10 games. Yeah, though Cooper Edwards in his last 4 games over the last few weeks here, not doing it, which sucks. Since that King County debacle, he's got 4 games in. He's got 1 hit, 1 for 14, and 6 Ks. Don't love it. Basabe, I was going to say, I mean, he's kind of doing okay right now. He's got 282 average in his last 10 games. My concern is Jake Gunther, Cameron Williams are getting significant playing time. They're just not touching the ball right now. And it's like, hey, man, like, at a certain point, that's causing an issue. I would say. You want
to hear a fun Cooper Edwards fact? Prior to tonight's game, guess when was the last time he drew a walk?
Oh, God, no. I don't know. It can't be good. It can't be good.
June 20th.
Oh, that was
nearly 3 weeks
27
ago.
27 ABs ago. He's not been playing as regularly in his defense. So going by day is tough, but 27 at bats between walks is going to be what we call non-ideal, boys. Especially when you've in that time had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Ks. Jesus. All right. Oh God.
He did have 3 walks tonight, and they're holding up that on base like Atlas.
Yeah. I mean,
1 for 2, 3 walks. Let's go. It sounds like. See, here's the thing. I understand the kid's appeal. He's a first-of-all kid, and he can call a good game.
Yeah, and look, if we're going to prioritize it, that's fine. If he's going to be in the back of the lineup doing that. Like, that's why I usually don't jump on Cooper Edwards, and I kind of cringe when we're doing it. I don't know, man. I don't think he's the issue. Let's be real.
He's not the issue, but it's also like, look, if you're going to roster him and you're going to play him, there needs to be support around him then to where you can accept that, okay, he's just not going to hit.
He can't be playing against lefties. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got a 214 OPS against lefties right now.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, dude, he doesn't have a hit against a lefty this season. He's only 15 plate appearances, but still doesn't have a hit against lefties. I mean, they're clearly trying to avoid him against lefties right now, but rough. He seems to be hitting much better on the road, which is interesting. Maybe check that out.
I'd like to see what his spray chart is then.
I got you.
Because I think that then plays a big factor, because my understanding of Gary's ballpark is just about a half of it that you don't want to hit the ball to.
So he's going to left.
Okay.
Great pull, buddy. A lot of time on the ground, unfortunately, which is, as a catcher, not your best look.
Left's not that far. Left's 320.
Yeah, I know. It's probably the most optimistic situation for him.
Yeah, I mean, left center's 380. But
now, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I think I can. Let's go back. Nope, we're not going back. Decisions have been made. Nope, not going back. Decisions have been made. Hold on, stop sharing. Might have something for you here. Just let me in my effort to make a defense of Cooper Edwards here. I think I got something. Should not be doing this at 1:40 in the morning, going deep dive into Cooper Edwards. What is wrong with us?
The true sickos of this.
So here's the problem that Cooper Edwards has right now. The pitching staff. So what is the pitching staff ERA right now? That's what I want to see first of all. Do you have anything? Thanks.
Always here to help. Pitching staff ERA, you said?
Yes. Do you have it accessible? Wait, I might have it in front of me. No, I don't. I lied. Boop.
Pitching staff ERA is a 5.11.
Okay, so it's a 2.35 when he's catching.
Okay, sure. Okay.
With a 1.55 whip. Here's what I think of as the problem here.
Whip's a little higher, but yeah.
The problem is their second catcher, Colin Summerhill. When he's catching, they have a 2.12 ERA and a 1.42 whip. That's the problem. And Colin Summerhill is hitting 252 with a 689 OPS, and he's getting better. Significantly, actually. I would say he's got 689 OPS right now, I would say, which is below the average for sure. But what was his OPS at the time? It was pretty rough for a minute there.
It's always sad when a dog gets old, isn't it?
He had a 333 OPS after May. And since then he had an 859 OPS in June. Jesus. Wow. 23 for 73 in that stretch. Yikes. Well, look, I don't like the way he's ganged up on Cooper, by the way. Like, here's my thing. If you are having troubles working with your pitching staff and you have an offense that can hit, Cooper might be your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Say what we will, he's getting good results out of this pitching staff. Is Colin Summerhill kind of killing his vibe? Yeah. But I think as a guy who typically hung right around 200 at the plate and who caught and was known as a very good defensive catcher and just defensive catchered my way into like a couple all-star teams in high school or middle school, maybe. I don't even know. Over time. I am, for one, going to stand here and defend Cooper Edwards. Cooper Edwards has a right to exist. Damn, Colin Summerhill's killing his vibe. That's tough. Because guess what? Like,
you really went in thinking that was going to vindicate Coop, didn't you?
I thought it was going to save him. Because here's the problem.
Instead, you just sunk him.
I know. Damn it. He's got 100 points better OPS against righties, and that's Coop's area.
Yeah.
Damn it. That sucks.
Hey, Coop had 3 walks and a hit today, though.
Yes, he did. For getting on base. He gets on base.
This really sounds like me hyping up Vientos when he hits a home run in a game that they're trailing at 6. It's like, look, they lost by 7, but Vientos kind of bomb went 1 for 5. So, like, it was a win.
He did bounce. Man, well, he had to after yesterday. Jesus.
He just bounced back today. Well, fuck, it was kind of
big bounce back day. Hey, there's a big bounce back day. They're using him as like a defensive catcher, I think, occasionally, which is kind of hot. Into it. Anyway.
Super sexy. Defensive catcher.
I need Gary to lock it in. That's what we need. Go for the week, Gary. Lock it. Please. Please.
Not too many kids named Gary these days.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's just talk about the crash outs from the past week, and then we'll call it a week, because it's getting late, and I'd say we're getting...
This was supposed to be a Pioneer League deep dive, but we'll get there eventually, Pioneer League. I got you.
Don't worry. We'll keep screwing them. I'm fine with that.
I know you are. I hate that. Anyway.
Yeah, so what we got a Persky crash out, and then we had another thing
Yeah, it's a
in
good one.
Gary.
Here's my confession, because I've watched the tape on Persky a bunch. I didn't see the actual call, so I gotta go back and check that one. That's on me. But yeah, Persky, man, got the trash can out and got in the trash can, which is,
Maybe a little excessive.
felt excessive to me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to be a buzzkill. I like Persky. Talked to him a couple times. Nice guy. Yeah, I'm going to need you out of the trash can, Sean. Hey, Sean, out of the trash can. It's a bit on the nose for the metaphor, right? Okay. For future reference, so to explain, it seemed to be an impression of the first base umpire. Is that what you're getting?
I certainly do. I will say this much, though. I could do without ejections with props, period. And I could do for things that don't make Indy Ball look like a sideshow.
Okay, yeah, I think there's a good point here. I would say, I would yes, I think props entirely. I think whether you're taking a base away with you, I think whether you're throwing something, because he also threw the trash after, bats in bad form. I think even going out to argue excessively, right? You get your piece. If you are now making it a thing, it's becoming about you. I think it's a bad look. And this is, and I try to limit the number of times I face the baseball guys, the on-field talent, the management of the on-field talent, and hit them with an off-the-field consideration. But at a certain point, if you're having this sort of meltdown, something's probably not going well. You need, and especially this was a home game, like you need to be considerate of the fact that you're slowing it down. And like, yeah, at a certain point, like, oh, you're kind of putting on a show. It's kind of like, fun. A little bit like, let's wrap this up. Like if we got to then pick up trash on the field, come on, man, can't be doing it. If you're going to be making a scene, it's a bad look. Beyond the outside the Indy Ball scope, it's a bad look for Indy Ball. Inside the Indy Ball scope, kind of funny. Yeah, the umps suck, but also what do you expect? But also, you can't be like sidetracking the whole night here. I don't know. That said, I did love when Mark Minikazi gave out that base after getting ejected. It still makes me laugh. So it is what it is. Maybe I have no integrity.
I don't like things that are getting overt, mean media attention, hitting actual veins that would be poorly received. And I see that being poorly received, not in the way of, oh, it isn't popular, oh, people didn't enjoy watching it, but poorly received in the manner of like, well, what do you expect from these Bush leagues?
Yeah. So far, we've been lucky that it hasn't ended up on John Boy. Don't need that.
Yeah, but we could avoid that. It would be great.
It would be really nice.
Yeah, especially like when we've already had kind of a rough news year.
Mm-hmm. I do think he has the weekly like things you didn't watch, then like you missed because you didn't intend on watching or whatever. Great segment, by the way. I do like that one. He had some video for it, but yeah, I don't. It might pop up there if I'm honest. That tends to be where Indy Ball stuff tends to show up. So, oh yeah, dude. No, I don't love that. I kind of missed a lot of the context on the other ejection. Can you kind of start that ball rolling?
I did not get all that much of it. It seemed fairly mild.
Yeah.
Let me pull the video back up to actually see it again because it's been a minute since I've watched it.
Like the Lincoln Powder Blues, I wish it would wear the powder blue pant, but yeah, man, the shrug from the ump is crazy.
Yeah,
he looks unhinged in this one. That's my problem. Like,
yeah, they're kicking the dirt on him too,
dude. Yeah, you can hear like word for word on this one. It's tough. Can't be doing all of it. Yeah, the suspension's earned here. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Second a bridge.
And it sounds like it was a, yeah. All right. Like, and here's the thing, like, I don't know. Again, I don't know what the ump is saying, and I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen good behavior from umps in the past, but it is like, hey, man, you got to take this to a different conversation. Like, at a certain point, I know it's tough in a moment as somebody who has picked up plenty of disciplinary penalties on different sports fields. It is just one of those things where let's have some context. Let's keep it moving. I know, like, I don't think it's just firing up the boys. I've always hated that. I always thought that was extremely dumb. There's one where it's like, yeah, you're backing up the guys, but at a certain point, you're just validating whatever the guys are complaining about, and then they're more likely to use that as an excuse. I think that's far more often than people give it credit for, right? Having been in enough dugouts where guys just all of a sudden are like, well, life's against us, I guess. You're like, dude, we got to lock in a little. Additionally, I just think there's a point where if you're this upset, if you are truly this upset about it, yelling, doing all this is digging your hole.
Yeah.
It is, you can be right. You can be completely right. You can have a point, and maybe being right isn't, getting a protested game or whatever the hell. But you're not going to change the decision now anyway. And I don't think this is also making him more likely to help you out later in the game. I think this is more likely to overshadow the conversation you have with the league about this umpire and his calls or his conduct or whatever. That's where it's like, hey man, like, you're going to spend the whole time talking about this instead of the lead up. You can't have it. You got to think bigger picture. And I understand that it's tough in that moment. I get being emotional about it. And you see how hard the guys are working to have it taken from them by an ump who's struggling. But I also encourage people to remember, just as the players aren't in the show for a reason, the umpires aren't also.
Yeah.
We are not losing our minds on the batters every time they make a bad decision involving a pitch out of the zone. At the same time,
I hear what you're saying.
You have to have a little grace for the umpires. I'm not typically one to say that.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a whole system. It's a whole process here where, like, everyone's trying to work through this. You can't just be flying off the heel on it. And in the way that they, like, obviously there's no real, like, ejection where there isn't, like, a lot of aggression there, but, like, you're really getting in his face. You're kicking the dirt on him. I'm sure there's spit flying in here. Mm-hmm. It's not intentional. He's not spitting on him per se in the way you would think when you hear that. But like, it's hitting the face and stuff. So, So like, all that, it just is like, look, there's a line here, right? Like, be pissed off. Do what you got to do. I'm fine if you want to stomp and, do whatever. Fine. But like you say, it overshadows whatever the call here is.
I will say my favorite ejection ever was actually my my coach when I was playing, like, while I was in high school. He was very calm, dude. Only got tossed like twice, and he was furious, dude. And it was on a blown caught stealing call. Should have been. I nailed the guy at second. I knew I nailed him at second. And the guy calls it. He's offset, like he should be. He's offset from the batter, over by second base. And the angle he chose was like basically behind the shortstop came in to make the tag. And he instead of swiveling behind the throw went this way around. So he's like looking through the shortstop's legs. And I just remember, like, it was hilarious because most of the argument was like our manager, like, who is like a baseball mind, coaching him up, which was like, no, like, you need to be like, here, knee down. And he's like, you need, like, I know they taught this. And if they didn't, I need you to tell me, because like, that's bullshit if they didn't teach it. And like, he was going, and then, but guess what? I almost got a guy later in the game. And you know why he knew I didn't? Because he was knee down at the angle. I was like, yo, shout out. Like, but that's really the only time I've seen something change in game based on an argument, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of gas here.
Yeah. Can I hit a couple? I'll hit a couple quick notes here. I had I'll just hit our highlights here. I think I'm going to be in Staten Island this weekend. So if you're around, you can DM me. Okay. Checking out Hagerstown with them. That should be a fun one. Mainly because I got to get my eye on these Warlocks that we got going on up there. Also Hagerstown's a damn good team. Hagerstown, and Southern Maryland, by the way, I don't know if we're talking about officially have clinched first half playoff spots, that we were in the second half now in the Atlantic League. Hagerstown has doubled their win total, I believe, or has already surpassed their win total from their first two seasons. They've won more than either of those seasons. That's how I should say it, but they were easily on their way to doubling their win total, as a team in one season. On the other side of things, less successfully, I tweeted these earlier. Follow me on Twitter. You get these good ones. Talking about how the average Staten Island versus Long Island game sees Long Island win by over 6.5 runs. And unfortunately for Staten Island, that is only not even a full run worse than how their normal games go. They're losing their average game by about 5 3/4 of a run. And with that, I also posted that they had generated more expected runs than their opponent in only one of their last 28 games and only in 6 games of their first 65. So if we were playing sort of removing luck and wild cards and everything else, we were just going on how many runs you kind of earned or allowed to be earned. They would have only 6 wins at that point and 1 in the last 28. So pretty brutal. Pioneer League goings on. We failed to mention that Les Lancaster is no longer managing Idaho Falls. I mean, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else to say? But since then, kind of on an uptick. I think they're like something like 7-6, maybe 8-6 now. Crazy. They've been playing some ball, so that's fun. Red Pocket Mobiles are kind of, not disrespectfully, like where they belong. They are now officially at the bottom. There's 5 games of space between them and the next team, and that next team is Yuba Sutter, not Idaho Falls, which after their start is actually pretty impressive. So shout out to them. We're coming down the stretch in the Pioneer League. They are at, I think they got 3 games left, I want to say, in the half. Long Beach has 3 left. They've already clinched. Billings, I believe, has clinched as well. Have I seen a post about that? I don't know that I have. Pioneer League struggles on league communication, but the maths, I don't believe that they can be caught now for the first half. Assuming they're still doing halves. Communication. Pioneer League. Anyway, I mean, they still have first half standings as an option on their thing, so I assume we're doing 2 halves still. Anyway. Yeah. Missoula, 5-5 in the last 10. Struggle continues.
The war rages on.
Oakland, 4-6 in the last 10. They've had a couple ugly games too. The struggle continues. Chaos out west, I tell you.
So,
sorry, tonight. It was I'm sorry, Oakland just had I didn't catch it. They had a 19-5 win over Modesto tonight. It was just so deeply Pioneer League coded.
The struggle continues.
Jeez, the struggle does continue. I mean, this series, all right, hold on. I'll just say this is the, just how it's gone. There's been a lot of double digits Oakland games, but I like this series with Modesto. It was a good team. 7-3 loss. Normal. 8-4 win. Normal. 20-4 loss. That got weird. 5-3 win. Good job being normal. 11-7. Little weird. 19-5. We're back, baby. Like, it's just they can't string together too many normal days.
All right. Well, let's wrap this.
All right, man.
Do you mind?
Indy Ball Nation, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Rankings are actually dropping. The rankings are completed. Some of you have trouble. I'm talking to the people who probably don't listen to the podcast, ranking teams, because you tend to rank the same team twice. Crazy what happened once. Had it happen twice this week. I expand the poll once to make it 6 people. This is what I get. It's fine. Shout out to the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Spoiler, they're number 1.
Extra curiosity, how are you handling that double rank?
A double rank. I made them. I was like, re-rank, yo. Like, what?
Redo the assignment.
Well, it was, one was rough because the one was kind of like, it was handwritten and a picture sent to me because somebody was on a bus, and it was KC. And I was like, they're not trying to say King County, certainly. But like, I had to confirm that. And then, no, they weren't. Just managed to rank Kansas City twice. Not even far apart from each other, for the record, 6th and 8th. What are we doing?
So again, I thought this was like a case of like where you're switching tabs and you write the same team down twice. Because I've done that before, but I don't normally catch it. But
right.
like, it was handwritten.
Yeah. So
there wasn't any tab switching going on here. It was just like straight, like, yeah, this one. I like them again.
Yeah, well, hold on, because they were ranked 6th and 8th in the initial ranking, and it came back to me and it was ranked 5th that time. Like, what? What are we doing? You thought about it again? Well, if I have to slide another team here, it's going to shuffle the whole thing around.
It's like, well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Good Lord. Well, I do think it's funny. So they had seen this is somebody involved with the club in the Atlantic League. How about that? And they had seen one of the teams that was ranked in the top 5, I would say, like in the meantime, in the 24 hours since, and changed the rank back one spot as well. I was like, okay. I'm like, you lost that game, by the way. I don't know if you need to hear that.
Yeah, they ain't shit.
He was like, yeah, but we could have won. Big, we could have won energy.
Unrealized wins.
Oh, man.
We got a lot of unrealized wins on this team here.
Dude, that's
almost
funny.
as many unrealized bitches.
Oh, I had something else to tell you too. It's so disappointing. I'll get
a text at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's gonna be so stupid for sure. Next week's pod's issue, maybe. Yeah. I got a bunch of Pioneer League talk all saved up now, so you're gonna have to deal with that eventually.
Oh, I won't.
Notes.
Indy Ball pod. There you go. I don't post anything anymore. I'm in degenerate mode, so hooray for me.
That's what it is.
So, until then, until next time, don't forget to play ball.